Hey there, Sean here. It's August 7th, 2017, and all of the cards for the Frozen Throne Hearthstone Expansion just came out. So, I've been playing Hearthstone since it came out, and I just wanted to review the cards, document it, and see how right I am. So when the cards do all come out, I'll see how well I did in predicting them, and I think I have a pretty good gauge. I don't play Hearthstone very much, only gotten to rank 5. But yeah, let's see how I do. So I'm gonna rate these cards on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being, it'll see play in every deck, kind of like Dr. Boom, or maybe not every deck, but for that archetype. So for instance, a good example is maybe Frostbolt. No, that's too general. That's too vague. I'd say something like Ragnaros or not Sylvanas, but even Medivh. Nah, Medivh isn't 5 stars. Alexstrasza's 5 stars. Alexstrasza's kind of niche, right? In the decks that it does work in, Freeze Mage, combo decks. Really good, really important, really impactful. And the power level of that card in those decks, very, very strong. But overall, it's not necessarily an auto-include, but still, Alexstrasza, 5-star power level. Freeze Mage, it lets you set up a 2-turn kill from 30 life. And it's really powerful because of Ice Block. Ice Block Alexstrasza, that combo is 5 stars. Both of those cards are 5 stars for that deck archetype. Ice Block isn't the best in Tempo Mage, but it's really good for Freeze Mage. So, Alexstrasza is also pretty creative, so I'd rate Alexstrasza maybe as a 5 in design, because you can use it on yourself to save yourself, use it on your opponent, you have to use it strategically. Archmage Antonidas, it's a little more easy to use general, so I'd give maybe Archmage 3 or 4 stars in design, and maybe a 4-star in power level. It's not that powerful. He's really powerful, but you can do without him. So anyways, 5-star powerhouse of that archetype, or it's just a staple. 4-star definitely will be seen, will create an archetype as well. Generally powerful in the archetype, but it's not just such an important auto-include. Very powerful, for instance, the 4-mana 7/7 in Shaman. I'd say that's more of a 4 stars, memes aside, because it made Shaman very powerful, mid-range Shaman very powerful, but as you see, you can do without it. So a 4-star card is something that's powerful, not necessarily well designed, just powerful, gives a lot to the class, but not necessarily necessary. 3-star, it's iffy, it can be seen in some decks, probably not the top tier decks, more on lower tier decks, but it will see play. It will see play in some archetypes. Maybe it's a tech card, maybe not. 2 stars. 2 stars is, it sucks, right? It probably won't see any play whatsoever. However, maybe someone without all the cards would use it as a filler card. Maybe if you get this card off of, some other card, it would be decent. And 1 star is just complete utter trash, filler. It could even be interesting, like Weasel Tunneler. I'd say that's maybe a 3-star in design, but you can't even really do cool stuff with Weasel Tunneler. It's kind of cool, but it's 1 star. It fucking sucks. And you don't want this card, no matter what. There is no situation that a 1-star card would be good. 3-star, okay, so anyways, there could be very fringe choices that are 4 or 5-star, for instance the 4/6, 6-mana 4/6 that destroys all 1-cost spells. Probably end up rating that a 4 or 5-star. Very, very, very powerful, but it's very niche. 5-star doesn't mean it's powerful among all cases. It means that it's very powerful in the niche, and if the niche is big enough, if the niche is big enough, then it's 5 stars. If it's a very small niche, it's 4 stars. For instance, Ooze, I'd consider a 5-star card. A, comes out on turn 2, and B, tons and tons of weapon classes. It almost always sees play. So Ooze is a 5-star card, because its impact is fucking huge. And, that's about it. There's very little downside. It comes out early, eats a Fiery War Axe, 1 charge, really big. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get on to this. Crypt Lord. Taunt. After you summon a minion, gain 1 health. So, thinking about this, one attack taunts are very weak. Generally, like a 3 mana taunt, you'd use to fend off aggro, right? Whether it has 6 or 4 health in a control battle doesn't really matter. You're not going to get much value off of this. Now, the one attack, it's pretty weak. However, where I see this could be played, in, for instance, Token Druid, you summon a lot of minions in Token Druid, obviously, and B, you also buff attack in Token Druid. So I could see Crypt Lord being, I'd say 3-star in Token Druid. Definitely not in Control. The one attack does not get rid of threats. It would just delay turns, and Druid doesn't really have a big board clear. Like, let's say we would see Crypt Lord in maybe Mage. Could be decent, right? Could be like a Frost Nova. Frost Nova turn 3, Frost Nova turn 4, Coin Blizzard turn 5, Blizzard turn 6, Flame Strike. Like, you just stall, Frost Nova, Doomsayer. So, Druid doesn't really have cards to mass clear, like Brawl, Flame Strike, Twisting Nether, stuff like that. So, if at all, this would see playing Token Druid, and even then, really iffy, not very strong card. Nash, boring, 0 creativity. I'd say this is like 2-star. It's like a nerfed Bash. What the fuck? I mean, this is filler. Boring. They could have done something more interesting. I don't know. They could have made this give 5 armor or something. It's like Claw is 1 mana for 2 attack, 2 armor. This is 3 mana for 3 attack, 3 armor. It's like a Frostbolt, but then you also take damage. Shit, it's really bad. Web Weave. They said this used to be 4 mana. If the spiders were 1/3s, they would be even harder to remove. It would be like 2 assassinates a turn later. So, low tempo. Honestly, I mean, I know a lot of people would say this is shit. It's like, you just have a 2 mana, 1/2 snail with taunt instead of this, and then card draw, which would be actually pretty good too, to have the 1/2 taunts, but I don't know, this is kind of good. The fact that it doesn't have taunt sucks though. Yeah, I'd say, honestly, it's decent, but the fact that the 1/2 snail taunt exists, I'd just rather play that over this, like any day. So, yeah, I'm crossing this off the list. This is like, in power level, 2 stars at the best. Druid of the Swarm. The 1/5 taunt for 2 mana isn't too shabby. Like, but then it's like, okay, so I'd compare this guy to the 2/4 Dragon Synergy guy, 2/4 taunt Dragon Synergy Priest card. I mean, it's essentially a 3-cost card for 2. I'd say this is actually decent. Definitely not Token Druid. This is more for, like, control. But the thing is, with Ramp Druid, they don't really like low drops because they have a lot of ramp. So ramp replaces their low drops, and they just have, like, higher. So instead of, like, a 3-mana minion, they could just have a 4-mana minion if they have ramp. And obviously, a 4-mana minion is much, much more powerful. I'd rate this as... It's actually pretty strong due to the flexibility of it and its power against aggro. This is against aggro, and then the poisonous is against control. So actually, you know what? I'll give this a 4-star. In the case for control druid, in the case that it needs to tech in against aggro, because this also sees viability against control too. So that's why it's strong. It's flexible. It's like, imagine you had a card like Feral Rage, right? You can either use it as removal, or you can use it anti-aggro, gain armor. Strong Shell Scavenger. It's like Bolster. Shit. I'd rate this 2 stars. Spreading Plague. Could be too slow. The thing is, like, with Pirate Warrior, they don't really have that many drops. Like, they don't fill their board too much. And each of their drops have a lot of health and a lot of attack, so it's not like... This is just a stall card. Actually, you know, I'd rate this very lowly. Because, yet again, with stall cards, druids don't really benefit from them. They don't have, like, board clears, like spell damage swipe. What other board clears? Starfire? Like, no. So this card is good, actually. This is a strong card, but in druid, it's shit. So I'll rate it a 2-star. This is only useful maybe against, like, token decks. But even then, token decks buff their tokens, so... I don't know. Fate Spinner. This is a hard one. It's really exciting. Deal 3 damage to all minions. That's really strong. The one downside is it's a death rattle. It's not a battle cry. So, let's say you're against aggro on turn 5. You're gonna be nearly dead. They can just ignore this, go face. It's like, the thing is, like, Consecration, right? This is the board clear, maybe, that Druid needs. But it still is super, super slow. Oh, that's hard, man. And then for obviously, for Token Druid, +2/+2. I like this card in design, like, that's a 5-star design. In power level, 5/3. Token Druid would see this useful, and then they would just use the... Like, this is a win more card, and if you're not win... The thing that's so powerful, actually, about this card is, like, A, it's win more, the +2/+2, but also B, you don't need to use it as a win more card. That's why, like, the choose one, Blizzard's making really smart choose one effects. Both Druid of the Swarm, flexible and aggro and control. This is, like, win more or comeback card. So, it's actually... I'll rate this highly. I'll rate this, like, 4-star. 5-star? Maybe, actually. I just don't see a deck that this would be really useful in. This wouldn't be, like, a super big power. It's super strong, though, especially in Arena. Bug. I'd say 4.5 on this. Okay, Ultimate Infestation. This card is insane. Firelands Portal combined with a shield block, combined with a sprint. In Control Druid, 5-star card. Auto-include 2 of. Just as good as, almost as good as, what's it called? Call of the Wild. It's like Call of the Wild plus gain armor, plus draw 5 cards. This card's insane. The only thing is, I don't know how Druid would use 5 cards, like draw 5 cards. Most of Druid's cards are high mana, so, but yeah, this card's fucking insane. I'll say 5-star. I know it's slow, but it's a really good effect. Like, this is a 10 drop that is fucking awesome. Okay, now Fearing the Pestilent. It's more meme-tastic than anything. It's not that strong. 2/1/5 taunts for 5 mana. 7 mana. I don't know. Imagine the other 5. Imagine this card. What was it called? No. It's either like 2 Spreading Plague minions or 1 or the Web Weave. I don't know. I'll say that's like a 2 or a 1 actually. It's really weak. But if I say 1 and it gets stronger, I'd say it's fucking weak. Fuck that. But then again, in Control Druid, the hero power is pretty strong. Honestly, with ramp, this could actually be a decent card, just due to the hero power. Yeah, I have to consider the hero power. But then again, Druid likes to play things on curve, and there's a lot of high-cost stuff. I think this could see play, though. Like, it's a 7-drop, right? So on turn 7, you can either play this or, like, another big minion. The thing is, okay, so 2 Poisonous Spiders would help kind of reclaim the board. The only thing is, if you spend a turn doing this, it's really low tempo, right? It's a value card. So you can keep up. Gain 3 armor. Like, if you're already low health and you play this, you can survive. I mean, it's gaining 15 health, essentially, the 2. Yeah, okay, I'll say this can see play. if you're not too behind on board. Yeah, this could see play. Hadronox. Okay, this is really powerful. But it's also really slow. The tough thing is, you see, all these cards, like, I feel like Druid's usually behind on board. I don't know. Like, my gut instinct says these cards are too slow for Druid. Like, if Druid pulls this off, it's sick. But getting through 7 health, he'll need to attack into this, like, twice. Getting taunt minions in your deck is no problem. By this time, especially if you stall till turn 9. It's like a N'Zoth. But it's a slower N'Zoth. But they're taunt minions, which are better than Death Rattle. N'Zoth saw play, so I'll actually rate this as a 4. Maybe even a 5. This will make a deck archetype. I just don't know how strong that archetype will be. And Druid has ramp to get there. You know, I'll rate this a 5. This could be an archetype. It'll definitely have enough value. I'm just hesitant with this type of card. It's just so slow. But taunts... Fuck. With ramp and taunts, it could get this out very quickly. That's why. And taunts are impactful the minute they go on the board, and this comes out 1 turn earlier than N'Zoth. The only thing that leads me to believe this can see play is because N'Zoth saw play. But then again, N'Zoth only saw play in like Priest and Paladin, which both have heal. I guess Druid has heal. Yeah, okay, this will see play. But both Priest and Paladin have board clears, and Druid does not. So, yeah. The board clear, the lack of board clears is just like really hurting Druid with all these stall cards. That's the thing. That's like the key piece that's missing. Druid needs board control, or else they're fucked. They don't have any really big comeback cards. So Hadronox, maybe this new card will see a lot of play. The one I rated 4.5. Where was it? The 3 damage AoE. Yeah. This is like a nice board clear. I like that. Okay. I believe it. Thinking through all these cards, I think Druid could pull out a defensive taunt archetype. Similar to like Taunt Warrior, how that came out. Maybe tier 2 deck. I think it can happen. There's enough support for it. Okay, play dead. So how to look at this card is like 1 mana, do something. So like let's say 1 mana, summon 2 1/1s on turn 5 or so. 1 sec. Let's. Oh shoot. Death Rattle cards. So let's look at Death Rattle cards in Hearthstone. So okay. So the thing is, there's been cards like this, right? There's been the card in, I think, came out. It was like a 2 mana card, activate a Death Rattle, and that did not see play. So actually, this is pretty weak. I really doubt seeing Death Rattle Hunter. There's also no control cards that came out, so I'll rate this like a 2. Actually, even a 1. Oh, it's so shitty. It could be cool for the archetype. No, I can't rate it a 1. 1's reserved for like filler cards, so I'll say 2. 2 star. Bear Shark, it's decent. It can see play. 3 star. Nothing to say. Can't be targeted by hero powers. So if you have board control, this card becomes stronger, especially with Houndmaster. Stitched Tracker. Discover a copy of a minion in your deck. 3 mana, 2/2. It's so slow. Yeah, I don't think Control Hunter is a thing. So in the current state of the game, 2 mana. 2 stars. I doubt this would see play in Aggro Hunter. It's too slow. The only thing I can think of is you can like discover a high main. I don't know. Okay, Venom Strike Trap. Secret deck. decent secret. Thing is, you get the Cobra on your opponent's turn, so they decide how to deal with it. But then again, they don't know. Like, they might attack into it. The thing is, look, so let's say you have board control, and then you play this card, and they have no cards, then they play a big minion. If you just had a normal poisonous card, like the snail, let's say you had the snail, this card is worse than that because, okay, so let's say you have board control, it's like 10 mana turn, you just play the snail, then the opponent knows they can't play a big minion. But if you have board control and then you play this secret, and then they play a big minion, there's nothing to prevent them. Like in Mage, there's Mirror Entity, and Paladin, there's Repentance. Hunter has Snipe, but that's not a big deal for a big minion. But this does not stop that, and the Cobra is supposed to stop a big minion. For 2 mana, it's decent, but I mean, it's just for the tempo game. And on turn 2, I don't know. It's kind of weak, just due to the fact that your opponent has to activate it. But then it's decent because it's a secret and there's secret support. So for a secret deck, could see one of, maybe. I don't know. I'll say 2-star. It's not that strong. Freeze Trap's better. Explosive Trap's better. I guess it's better than Snipe. We'll need this later. Hunter Secrets. Okay, here they are. So, Explosive Trap's good, this is good, Snipe so-so, Cat Trick is decent. So what's better, a 4/2 Panther with Stealth or this Poisonous Minion? Probably the Panther, but they trigger off of different things. Hidden Cache isn't very good. So it's better than this, it's better than this. What's better? 3/1/1 Snakes? No. It's better than Snake Trap, I believe. Okay, it could see play. I'll say 3 stars. Okay, this card is completely garbage. The fact it's a Death Rattle, not a Battle Cry? Oh my god. So, this is a Control Hunter type card. First of all, Aggro Hunter would not play this, or even mid-range really. Why? Because they'd want higher attack things, they want threats. Your opponent can just ping this down. So this is gonna last at most 1 turn. It's just so bad. If it was a Battle Cry, then it would be like Consecration, right? If it was at least deal 3 damage to all enemy minions, it would be sufficient for the fact it's a Death Rattle. But right now you have to trigger this yourself. I just don't see it. I think this is like really bad, especially for Control Hunter. It does not have anything. 2-star, maybe even. Yeah, it's really bad. Death Rattle cards cost 2 less. That's decent. Death Rattle cards. There's a few good Death Rattles. I mean, the stats are decent on here initially. Like, you only lose 1 stat. It's hard to clear, and Hunter has a really good time having board control, so I'd rate this like maybe Death Rattle Hunter. Okay, so first of all, Death Rattle Hunter will not be good, but this is a pretty decent card, but it won't make Death Rattle Hunter a thing. It's not that powerful, so I'd say 3-star. Just because it's not going to... It's like a good support for the archetype, but it's replaceable. It's not like a powerhouse, right? It is kind of like a powerhouse, but it's not that huge. I don't know. It's a big threat, but it's not that big. Okay, Toxic Arrow. This is an Arcane Shot plus Poisonous. So this card is interesting. I like it. However, it's complete garbage. Why? So think about it this way. First of all, most hunters just want like cheap aggro, right? So this is nice removal, but the thing is, you need 2 things for this to work. A, board control, and B, a 3 health minion. Now, removal's strong because a lot of times you can, it's like a comeback card, and you can play removal when you don't have board control. That's why removal's so strong. So, for a card to require you to have board control, and it's a 2-for-1 because you're trading one of your cards plus this card, for removal, it's pretty weak. This is weak. It's an arcane shot and then 1 more mana for the flexibility to give one of your minions poisonous. I like it. It's cool, but it's just so weak. And also, most of the time with poisonous, you want to do it with like a 1 health minion of yours. Like, you know, you want to adapt your cup when you summon the 2/1/1s. You want to adapt that, and then boom. And then on the last point, like, this card is kind of weak to Divine Shield minions and stuff like that, where you want to play this first. So there's fringe cases where it's even worse than Arcane Shot, even though it has flexibility. I'll say 2 stars. Nah, maybe this will be the first 1-star card even. No, because it can possibly see play in Control Hunter. But Control Hunter will not be a thing. Control Hunter is so weak, but just due to the fact that it could support Control Hunter, I'll give it 2 stars. Otherwise, this is, right now it's like 1 star. Fuck that. Abominable Bowman has decent stats, but for a 7-drop you'd want something more effective. Look, it's good for control. Can summon your high main. It's an RNG card. If you don't have too many weak beasts, but Hunter always spams weak beasts. So it's like 7 mana, summon a 1/1 that summons a 3/2, Kindly Grandmother. Or 7 mana, summon a 1/1. But on the flip side, it could summon a high main. Whoop-de-doo. Hunter has too many weak death rattles. I'll give this 2.5. It's really weak. Professor Putricide. It's weak. 3 stars at the most. I mean, this is probably an auto-include in Secret Hunter. It just gives you more value card draw, kind of. Obviously, the Wombo combo would be Lock and Load. The 3/4 that Huntress that makes your secrets cost 0. And then this card. That's 9 mana combo. And then you fucking refill your hand and fill your board with secrets and get a 3/4 and a 5/4. But you're not gonna fucking live the dream. So, yeah. I don't know. It's not that strong of a card. It would go in Secret Hunter just because there's no stronger cards for Secret Hunter. Deathstalker Rexstar. Consecration. This is control card. Control. In control deck, it could be decent. What's Build a Beast? I don't know how this works. You combine 2 beasts and combine their mana cost. That's just pretty decent. It's like draw a card, Warlock, but it's a stronger card, and you get to discover. So this is pretty solid. Also, the deal 2 damage to all enemy minions, heal 5. Honestly, this is like 4 star, but just due to the fact that Control Hunter is so shit, I'll give it 2 star. Right? This is a powerhouse in a Control Hunter. Control Hunters would definitely have this, because the heal 5 is nice. They always like heal. The hero power is super good. It replaces your worthless hero power. Like, this is a fucking solid card, right? Actually, it's really strong. But just due to the fact that Control Hunter is not a thing, it's really weak. If Control Hunter becomes viable, if there's enough that supports it, 4 star, even 4.5, 5 star. Like, that's super strong. However, Control Hunter is shit, so 2 star. And Control Hunter will not be a thing. Mage. So this is kind of like Frost Chalk, but random enemy, and you deal 1 more damage. Kind of like, what's it called? The Flame Spitter, the 2 mana, deal 4 to a random enemy. Freeze Mage will not be a thing. This card's too weak. You can just run Arcane Explosion or whatever, the Arcane Blast. Freeze is useless. Just run Frost Nova for freeze. Shit. This card's really strong, but I really don't think Freeze Mage will be a thing. Actually, it could possibly be a thing. There has been support for it. Let's look at all the Mage cards. This is also Freeze, but it's also pretty weak. I don't know. Freeze Mage, there's only this card. Oh shit. This card that supports it. 1, 2, 3. Then there's Shatter. This card's really important because Freeze Mage needs the combo wombos, like freeze a minion, then Shatter, so that's like a 2-card, like maybe the 0-cost potion, and then that's a 2-mana removal, but it runs out of steam. And there's like the 5/5 that turns into a 7/7 or something if a minion's frozen, or a 4/4 4-drop. It's not going to be a strong archetype. It would be like a tier 3 archetype. I don't know if this would even be included. Yeah, probably not. It's too weak. The random target's too shitty, especially with a, yeah, 2-star. Maybe even 1-star. I'll say 1-star to this card. This card's strong for freeze, but otherwise it's shit. Arena, it's decent. I'll say 4 stars, but just because freeze mage will not be a thing, 2 stars, because it's useless in every other situation, and freeze mage will not be good. If freeze mage would be good, then I'd say 4 stars for sure, but freeze mage, there's not enough supporting. It's a really strong card though. Like, but the thing is also, you'd play this as a 3/4 on turn 3, so this is not even a 3-drop. This is like, you play Frostbolt and then this card on turn 5. And then if you look for a 5-drop that would do that, you could find something better like Blackwing Corruptor. It does the exact same thing, right? Because this is 2 cards, draw 1, so it's 1 card, 3/4, deal 3 damage, and then Blackwing Corruptor is a 5/4, deal 3 damage, same mana cost. So actually, this is pretty fucking weak. Frozen Clone, weak. Nothing to be said much. Suffers the same weaknesses as Mirror Entity. I don't know why you'd even want an opponent's minion. There's better card generation than this. Even for Secret Mage. Weak. Stalling. I don't know. 4 mana. Freeze an enemy minion, deal 1 damage. So weak, just, I don't know, what the hell. This is a weak card. It's like, okay, so what would I rate this? 2 stars, just because Secret Synergy. 1 star, we'll never see play. Doomed Apprentice. It's just an annoying, you sacrifice 1/1 in stats. It disrupts your opponent's turn, like Gadget's in turn. This is a smart card. I really like the design here, but the impact is very weak, and it's really easy to remove. Your opponent can just remove it with a Backstab or a Smite, Shadow Word Pain. You'd play this on a turn, like let's say you're avoiding a Flame Strike, you'd play this on that turn. I'll give this a 4-star actually, because it's strong in the right hands. If you know what cards you're trying to avoid and your opponent doesn't have coin, this could be really strong in Tempo Mage. But that's it. It's not really against combos. It's like Tempo Mage, you use this on turns where you're countering specific cards, and it protects your board, like Loatheb. It's a weaker Loatheb though. But it does the exact same thing. You're targeting essentially 1 single card that's supposed to come out on that turn. This is a really strong card. I like it. It's just really good stats and good defenses. 2 0/2 taunts are better than 1 0/4 taunt. 5 mana. 5 mana, 2/6, 2 0/2 taunts. I'll rate this 4-star. It's hard to find an archetype that this would fall in. It would fall in maybe like Freeze Mage, something that would value big stats and like tempo and board control, Secret Mage even, or even Quest Mage, but for stall. Yeah, it's just very versatile. I like this card. In Zoo, it would protect your minions. In Control, it would stall time against aggro. And stalling's really good for Mage, because Mage has a lot of ways to come back. Simulacrum, copy the lowest cost minion in your hand. Obviously a combo card. It's pretty much 3 mana, do nothing, like you don't draw a card. It's really slow. I think it's too slow. I think the combos that would use this are too slow. And it's a cool card. I'll rate it a 2. It's just too slow. 3 mana, do nothing. You don't have time for that. You'd rather get card draw. I guess you'd use it if it's like a control meta and they have dirty rats and stuff. to copy your Sork Apprentices. Use it instead of a Molten Reflection. It could work, actually. Use it a turn early. Now that I think about it, you can use this instead of a Molten Reflection. Like, legit substitute a Molten Reflection from your deck, or have 2 Molten Reflections and 1 Signal Aggro. But it's just a dead card. It's a dead card against aggro. It's so weak. Fuck. It's so useless against control. Imagine this card is like a 10 mana card, not 3 mana. Would you play this at 10 mana? No. Would you play this at 8 mana? No. It's just... because that's the earliest turn you could really do that. So, it's pretty weak. Glacial Mysteries. This is a 4-cost, 4-star, 5-star even, in Secret. I'll say it's a 5-star card, but I don't think Secret decks are going to be that strong, so I'll say 4-star. If Secret decks end up being strong, it will be because of this card. This card is fucking insane. Really good. Secret decks are already decent with tempo, and this gives them huge value. Yeah, I'll say this is 5-star. Decent in Secret decks. See 2 of these. Maybe not 2. Maybe just 1. I don't know. Finisher. It's like the last card you play, like Secret decks, like they're tempo, right? You'd probably want to run every Secret, 2 of them, and that would be pretty weak. But then again, when I saw Mysterious Challenger, I thought, wow, that's a powerful card, even though everyone else didn't. This comes without a body, though. Still think I'll say 4-star, not 5-star. But this card could single-handedly make Secret Mage into, like, a thing. The only problem is it comes out on turn 8. But the thing is, Secret Mage already has plays on earlier turns, so it's not like they won't get to turn 8. So yeah, I'll say 5-star. Secret Mage will become a thing because of this. That's essentially what saying 5-star is. I'll say it. Syndragosa, this is a cool card. I'll say 3.5. It's pretty slow. You ping your own dude. It's essentially like Nefarian for 1 less mana, and you get legendaries. 3-star. Nefarian was actually pretty shit. Yeah, when I first saw this card, I thought it was kind of shitty. It's kind of cool, but it's a cool card. I like it, but it's pretty shitty. Like, spend 2 mana, get a legendary in your hand. Don't use ping. Frost Lich Jaina. So when I first saw this card, I was like, this is pretty weak, but then I read comments on it, and it sounded pretty strong. The thing is, first of all, it's on turn 9. Second, so the Icy Touch is going to be really hard to pull off. Against Control, it's going to be hard to pull off, and against Aggro, it could be easier. But if you're playing this card against aggro, you're not going to have fucking board control. But then again, Mage has really good stalling tactics. Could this single-handedly make Elemental Mage a thing? I don't think so. Because that's what it would need to do to see play. Like, it could make it like a tier 3 deck, maybe. I'll say it's a really strong card, don't get me wrong. It's just not that powerful. And there's not that much support. So I'll say 4-star. Just because the hero power is hard to do. If you have board control and you play this, even if you're low life, this is fucking strong as shit. And Mage has a lot of like removal, like that you can easily get a ping in to get a kill. So this is a pretty strong card, like Frostbolt ping, 4 health. They have a lot of varied removal. And especially with elementals, they'd have varied attacks. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Four stars. Righteous Protector, this is 5 stars. 1 drop. 1 drop Annoyatron with Taunt. Holy shit, this is strong early and late. People already run the one without Taunt. This is with Taunt. Fucking strong. Why? Because they have to attack twice into it no matter what. They have to use 2 things. You can't remove it, and it protects something more important, like maybe a Grime Street Enforcer or something. It's just a very strong card, and you can play it on turn 1, and it's even useful on turns after. It's pretty much like a mirror image, because they have to attack twice into it. Dark Convection. I don't think this will see play. It's pretty much a 2/2 buff, like a 4 mana, 3/3 minion at the worst. Or a removal. Keeper of Uldaman, just the effect. I don't know. Paladin has a lot of things that deal 3 or 4 damage though. But I don't think it's strong enough. I'll say 2-star. Chillblade Champion. Paladin already has better healing. 1-star. Easily 1-star. The only thing I can see use in this is if Paladin wants a lifesteal minion for the common. So I'll say 1.5 just in that fringe case. But this card just sucks. I don't think Paladin. Maybe they would run it. I don't know. It's just such a weak card. 4 mana, bash, essentially. Can't even use Dynasize on this. Can use buffs on it, but you have better ways to heal. Ragnaros Lightlord, Forbidden Healing. I feel like Paladins have better heal. They'd rather use their buffs on stuff that could finish, like finishers. They don't run Kings. Kings is the only good buff for this, I guess. Blessing of Might would work, but I don't know. Desperate Stand. It's cool. Could see cool stuff in like combo decks, but it's a worse Ancestral Spirit, like Shaman. Paladins have Tyrion. Paladins have Divine Shield minions. Nah, this is 1-star. Because you would just use Redemption. You would just use Redemption if you would run this instead. Because this is silenceable and Redemption isn't, and your opponent doesn't know what Redemption is, and Redemption does not see play. This is 1 more mana than that. Obviously, you can use it on your turn. Just too weak. The only thing I can see this being played on is that 2-drop that gives you the buffs back when he dies. This is shit. All the 2/2 draw cards are shit because there's just better card draw. I think. Maybe not for Paladin. You'd want to only like draw a Tyrion from this. You'd want to draw a 4-drop from this ideally actually. It's just too slow even for control decks. Control decks would probably play a better 3-drop. I don't know what 3-drop, but I know there's one. If there's no 3-drops, then this is a decent one for control decks. It reminds me of like Tortillion Forager in that it gives you a lot of value, but it gives Stonehill. Stonehill will beat this guy any day. What am I thinking about? And aggro combo decks would just use Divine Favor, so I'll give this 1-star. 1-star. Fuck that card. But he might see some play. It seems like an overall good card. It's a weak card, but it's just overall decent. I don't know. I'll stick to my guts and say 1-star, but I'm pretty sure he'll see play in some deck. Yeah. Nah, he won't. Fuck this card. Arrogant Crusader, 1-star. It's pretty much a, I don't know, it's just so weak. If it was a 5/3, it would be okay, maybe 2-3-star aggro deck. It's too weak. The idea is you attack face, attack face, attack face, attack face. He's pretty much a weaker Shredder. Much weaker Shredder. Shredder was super good though. But the fact that this has 1 less health and it's less flexible sucks. The thing that made Shredder so strong is it had 3 health. If it was a 4/2, it would be much weaker. Light Sorrow. With all the weapon removal, this is really weak. It's like this is the type of weapon you'd want to hold on and you'd run in a deck with low weapons. Paladin already has good 4-slot weapon, True Silver. It's a strong card. Once there's no oozes in the meta, and that's not going to happen for a while. So in the current meta, 1 star, 2 slow, 4 durability, 1 attack. Takes a few turns to ramp up. Too many oozes. If there's less oozes, this could be maybe like 4 star even. 3.5 I'd say. But there's too many oozes. Whenever your hero is healed, deal that much damage to an enemy minion. This is kind of cool. True Silver. What cards would work with this? So Forbidden Healing, Lay on Hands, the 2 mana Wicked Burn, Burn Bristle, the 2 mana Lifesteal Taunt, Divine Shield. That's about it. And then the Karazhan 4/4 Discover card, Heal Your Hero. It's pretty weak for 6 mana. I don't think this will see play 2 star. Could see Fringe play. It's a decent card to like discover, but in your deck, it's too situational. Depending on your hand and depending on the board state. It's a win more card, I feel. Like, if you need to heal, you won't have time to play this guy. That's the problem. Like, ideally you'd play him and heal, but if you're healing, you're using your whole turn for that. Like, Ragnaros, whatever. Bolvar. Okay, I think this guy's actually strong. I think he's actually like 4 star, 4.5. I think Divine Shield decks could be decent. I think Divine Shield decks will be like tier 2, tier 3 deck. Maybe tier 2, maybe even better. Aggro, have Divine Favor and stuff. And this card's strong. Because he's a 1/7, but he loses his own and he becomes a 3/7. So if you have board control with a single Divine Shield minion, this guy's pretty damn strong. And he has a lot of health, so yeah, he's really good. 4 star. Uther of the Eben Blade. So, heal for 10. Equip a Ashbringer. It's pretty strong, but it's 9 mana. I know the hero power is strong for like combo potential. I think this could make a deck. I think this is 5 star. This will make a deck archetype. It's a new win condition. And Paladin already has really good stall and healing cards. 5 star for sure. Tier 1 deck, I'm not sure if it'll be tier 1, but it'll be definitely strong. Just due to the fact that Paladin already can fend off aggro, it has healing, it has board clears, it has taunts. Really strong class already. And then this is like a win condition that trumps everything else, and your opponent can't really stop it. Like, there's no destroy your opponent's hero power, so. And Paladin can already have enough, like, generate enough value. They'll need to, like, 1-for-1 trade these 2/2s. Like, Frostbolt, 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 Frostbolt. I think it's strong. It gives healing. Yeah, it's a really strong card. Shadow Ascendant, good arena card. Good for Northshire, Cleric. Too weak otherwise. It's like a Knife Juggler, honestly. I feel like this is like, it's just pretty weak actually. 2 star. Spirit Lash, this is decent. Good against aggro. Does Priest have a hard time against aggro? I don't think so, not really. But it's just a pretty decent card. It's like an Arcane Explosion, deals damage to your minions as well, but also has lifesteal. You can use it on your own minions to heal yourself. Nice flexible card, very defensive, low cost. I'd say like 3.5, 4 star. Yeah, 4 star, this can definitely see play. No, I'd say 3.5. It's not a powerhouse, but the thing is, there's actually not that many minions with one health. probably need to see pair with like Thalnos. 1 damage is actually pretty weak now that I think about it. So I'll say 3-star. Acolyte of Agony. Earthen Ring Farseer. Priest doesn't really use that. Priest has buffs, doesn't really use buffs. 3.5, it's solid. Solid card. That's about it. Nothing to say here. Eternal Servitude. This card got a lot of hype. Barn Synergy. It's Resurrect, but you have control over the probability. 4 mana. The fact that this card is 4 mana means you need to resurrect a 4 mana costing card. If you can cheat a card out, then it's good. The thing is, if you had no cards cheated out before 4 mana, this card's shit, so it's not a 4-drop. This is not a 4-drop. But with this card, you could also afford to run like Northshire Clerics and stuff. So it's actually much stronger than Resurrect in that instance, because you can afford to run a few shitty minions, because you pretty much are guaranteed not to ever resurrect them unless you're super unlucky. And it also offers you the flexibility. So like, let's say you have a Pyromancer, you have a Taunt, and then you have like a Ysera, right? Yeah, this card's really strong. I'll rate this 5-star. It's a powerhouse in Control Priest. Will it single-handedly make the archetype? No. In Silence Control? No. It won't single-handedly. So 4.5. 5 stars too generous. 4.5. Devour Mind. Thought Steal doesn't see play. This won't see play. 2-star. It's cool, but Priest has better card draw. Acolyte, Northshire. Shadow Essence. So what card would this be good at? So pretty much, you can even run like low-cost cards like, this is good like in Quest Priest, Death Rattle, N'Zoth. You can get it like Ragnaros, Ysera, 5/5. 5/5 for 6 mana. It's okay. It's not too bad, and you can really cheat out some things, but cheating out something big on turn 6 isn't a big deal. So I'll say 3.5. It can definitely see play, but it's too RNG. You're definitely, like, you're guaranteed not to get something too bad, even if you get a Northshire. It's still a 5/5, so 5/5 on 6 isn't too bad, but it's not, it's turn 6. So it's not like you can even if you get, like, the best possible Twilight Summoner or something. I don't know what the best possible minion for this is. Ysera, it's not going to be that big of a deal because it's easy to remove and it's already turn 6, so you're not going to snowball off of it. Embrace Darkness. It's too slow. Your opponent has too much time to react to it. It's like a mind control 2 turns later. I don't know. No one runs Corruption. This is essentially a Corruption, but instead of destroying it, you control it. It's just weak. 6 mana. Obsidian Statue. This card's really good. It's like the Druid card. Just a fucking powerhouse. Taunt, Lifesteal. So, good if you're low. Death Rattle, yeah, it's really strong. I'll rate this a 4.5. Or 4-star. 4-star, it's just strong. It won't make an archetype, it won't do anything phenomenal. But it's just really strong. This guy's been getting a lot of love. I don't like it. It's weak stats. It's cool effect. The effect is a 5-star, like, fucking cool effect. I just don't see this guy. I don't know. He's, you shuffle cards in your deck. What does that do? It prevents you from fatigue. So if you're playing the long, drawn-out control game, this card's awesome. But Priest is already really good at that. Like, instead of this card, I just have Mind Control. You know? Yeah, I mean, you can play this guy on turn 7, but he's at 4/6 on turn 7. So you might as well just play Mind Control over this guy. Like, unless you're facing, like, unless the meta becomes, like, Warrior Dead Man's Hand, which this would be amazing, because you can get to copy their Dead Man's Hands, unless they're already in their hand. Jade Druids, but then you'd be behind on Jades. What else has infinite? Like Rogue's Gang Up, Wild. I don't know who has infinite that this would actually be good against, so it's not a very good card. This card's only good if you know you have like a shit ton of card draw and then you just use this so you don't go in fatigue. But I still think there's better, like Elise is better than this card. For value, yeah, I don't know. I'll rate this in power like 2-star. Shadow Reaper Anduin. Destroy all minions with 5 or more attacks, so the battle cry is pretty decent. It's like if you land 2, it's like 2 Shadow Word deaths. It's already worth it. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Okay. But it also affects your board. The fact that it affects your board is pretty weak. Because you normally, like, you'd have board control and then you death as a huge tempo play and you continue your board control. This is only good. It's really good if you get more than one target, but if you also affect your own minions, it's kind of weak. It's like a comeback card. However, I'll still rate this like a 4, 4.5, just due to Void Form, because for like Kazaka's Priest, this is a win condition. With 2 Radiant Elementals, Auctioneer, and then Shadow Visions, and if you use Raza. So 5-card combo, you use Raza a turn earlier, but the problem is you also need a Shadow Visions in your deck, so you could also get fucked on that combo. So it's not a solid combo, but all those cards are decent except for Auctioneer, and with this hero power, even if you don't OTK, Auctioneer is pretty decent. Otherwise, this hero power actually kind of sucks. It's just like a Shadow Form. Play a Death and a Shadow Form is essentially this card. Is that good? It's okay. That's why I give it 4, 4.5, just due to the combo potential, because it's more than just that. Leeching Poison. So what's the best case scenario? I'm not even gonna judge this card that thoroughly because we've already accepted there's too much weapon destruction in the meta. But the best case scenario is like, let's say you get a 3/3 weapon somehow, 3/4 weapon. This is like, I don't know, 12 healing maybe at the best over 4 turns for 2 mana, pretty decent. It's too slow, even if there's no weapon removal. Could see like 1 of play with no weapon removal. Say this is like 1-star. But the thing is, Rogue likes healing. If I was Rogue, I'd just run the 4/3, make your hero immune though. That would be better. And because that doesn't even see play, then this won't. It's just so weak. Yeah, I'll say 1-star. I know Rogue needs healing, but this is weapon healing. I don't know. You attack face, maybe 6 healing on average for 2 mana over 2 turns. With weapon removal, it's too risky. Plague Scientist. This is like 4.5 stars. It won't make an archetype, but it's fucking strong at 3 mana. With Pyromancer, it pretty much is like 3 mana removal. You play this on your Buccaneer, you play this on your Patches. Super strong. In aggro and control. Even 5 stars, this card. Super, super strong. 3 mana removal. That's all I can say. A lot of flexibility. And even for its stats, it's a 2/3, right? You're only losing 1/1 for a 3 mana removal. it's fucking strong. Poisonous is super strong. Because it's poisonous with charge if you have board. If you don't have board, tough luck. Just play fucking patches and then play this. 4 mana, summon a 2/3, kill a minion. Summon a boar. Bone Baron. So obviously this card is like tempo. This archetype has never seen play, and I don't think it ever will. It's not that strong of a card. 2.5. It's obviously meant for combos, the 1/1 skeletons. But with the 6/7, 5 mana 6/7 combo, dude. Even the Vine Lasher. Yeah, it's just this card is not very strong. The archetype isn't strong that it supports, and this card in general is not strong. It's not even 5 mana, draw 2 cards, 5/5. These 1/1s. Kind of shitty. And combos aren't that strong to back the fact that these are 1/1 cards. I don't know. It's just a really weak card for 5 mana. If it was for like 4 or 3 mana, it would be okay. Even if the stats were less. Roll the Bones. This card is shit. It's usually just going to be a cycle. At best, you're going to have like 10. Let's just say at best you're going to have 15 Death Rattles in your deck, which is really cutting it. You have a 50-50 shot for this to be an Arcane Intellect. Someone did the math on this. So you can obviously chain draws into a bunch, but let me just give an analogy. There's that 4/5 taunt dude that you draw a dragon, and then if you draw another one if it's another dragon. And that card barely fucking works, and no one uses it, and it has a body. The only thing I see redeemed in this card is that it's a spell, so it has spell synergies. That's about it. And in Rogue, you always want to have a lot of spells, so 1.5. 2 mana cycle is actually not bad, so 2-star. Shadow Blade, Frostbolt, and then it's like a Fury War Axe, heal for 3. It's like a bash. Yeah, it's pretty solid, honestly. It's not bad. It's not a bad card. Just Rogue has so much efficient removal already that this rivals with Shadow Strike, Eviscerate. But it's pretty solid. I'll say 3.5. I can think this can see play. It's not going to be amazing, but it'll see play. During your turn, your weapon doesn't lose durability. It's 4 mana, and the stat line is really shitty. This is only good for like aggro. In aggro, it could be decent. This is good if you buff your weapon a lot. You know, you put poison on it, but that's like too dreamy. That's like you're looking at the best case scenario. On average, this card's pretty weak. I'd say 2.5, 3-star, 3-star maybe. Yeah, I'd say. I don't think this card would even see play though. 2-star card. Doomerang. Throw your weapon at a minion, it deals damage, then returns to your hand. I like this. So you pretty much you refresh your weapon. It's not a -1 because you get your weapon back to your hand. So not only is it not a -1, but you could also refresh your weapon. Oh no. So it's pretty much, let's say you have 1 charge on your weapon. So you can attack, you have 2 charges on your weapon, you attack with it, then you play Doomerang, so it's even more tempo. Weapons are already tempo, so you play this is more tempo, and it's also, you get the card back. So it's pretty good. I'll say 4-star. This can allow weapons to see play. But it's only at a minion, so it's kind of weak. See, Blade Flurry used to affect the hero. That was really strong. But Doomerang can't affect the hero, so it gets a lot weaker. Can't be a finisher. But you can attack twice in a turn with your weapon, and you get immune when you pretty much use this, and it goes through taunt, and you get your weapon back to your hand. It's decent. Spectral Pillager. So wait, what did I say what this was? 4-star, 4-star. Combo, deal damage equal to the number of cards you've played this turn, but it's 6 mana. 2-star. Shit stat line, shit effect for the mana cost. They way fucking overdid the mana cost. Lillian Voss. Replace your coins and your shitty spells in your hand with cards from a random class. It's cool. This card would see playing like Burgle Rogue. Have the dude there. But it's pretty much like the Golden Monkey card. You make your shitty cards into not shitty cards, but this card has no guarantee that your cards will not be shitty. The Golden Monkey was cool because he would make like your pretty much shield blocks, and Acolyte of Pains, and Inner Rages into legendaries that generated a lot of value. This card, on the other hand, all it does is it makes maybe in the late game your preps, coins that you don't even want to use, and whatever it is. Which I don't even know if you'd include in a deck that you'd include this card in. But it makes them into other spells that could also be shitty, like Shatter. Or, Claw. It's a cool card. 2-star. The only thing I can see is if you pair this with Ethereal Conjurer. And that would be pretty decent. But still, it's pretty shitty. Valera the Hollow. Ice Block. That's Shadow. So the cool thing about this card is if you have this card, this could be the only card that's above 5 mana in your deck, and you'll have 10 mana plays every turn. Vine Lasher, Vine Lasher. I don't know, Backstab, Vine Lasher, Vine Lasher. Ethereal Conjurer, Ethereal Conjurer. If you have this card, you probably should not have many cards over 5 mana. Maybe you'd have like 6 mana card, then Abyss Abyss to fill out your curve. It's pretty much draw an extra card every turn, but what's so strong about this is you decide what card you draw every turn. It's like duplicate a card in your hand every turn, which is stronger than draw an extra card every turn. Because it's different every time. Like Abyss Abyss is super strong. 4 mana, deal 8. Stronger than a Fireball. Super strong. But it's already 9 mana. It's like, for the rest of the game, draw an extra card every turn of your choosing, essentially, as long as it's a card in your hand. However, if you play this card, you're probably going to be tempo based. This is probably going to be one of the only cards of your card generation you have. So, for the archetype that this is built for, it comes too late in the game. It's very unfortunate. And the stealth, Control Rogue. Why would Control Rogue would run this card? It would make the lower cost cards valuable. But you gain stealth for 1 turn, so it's like Ice Block. Your opponent adds stuff to the board. You use Vanish. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. If there's more healing, this card could be very good. I don't think it's really based for tempo. Stealth is for control. You play this card when your opponent has board. You play it, you get stealth. Your opponent does whatever. It's pretty much like Frost Nova Doomsayer, except you vanish the next turn and then you play whatever. And replacing the dagger's no big deal because in the late game you won't want to use your dagger anyways. This is actually really strong if you run Vanish. The 2-card combo would be strong. I'll say this is 4.5 stars actually. 5 star. 5 star. I'll rate this card as 5 star. It's really powerful. An extra draw every turn. Is that really that powerful though? The stealth is powerful for Rogue. Just for control, it's a really powerful device. But after that, it's not like you're gonna lose the game. It's not like Jiraxis play a 6/6 minion every turn. 2 mana 6/6. Fuck. It's hard to say this is 5 star then. So I'll say 4.5 star. Murloc. 1 more mana for 1 more health. It's a Murloc, but it's not going to be amazing. This card doesn't like stand out from the pack. It's not like, oh my god, it's a War Leader. No, like War Leader's 5 star for Murloc. This card's just like a, the 2/1 that summons another 1/1. It's like, oh, it's that little dude. He just happened to draw that. Okay, it's like you're fighting hordes of Murlocs. It's not that strong. But it would see play in Murloc decks, so I'll say 3.5. If Murloc decks become a thing, could see play. 5-star. Really strong card draw. Really, really strong, especially for Murlocs that run out of steam. Would this see play in non-Murloc decks? I don't think so. There's not enough strong Murlocs to see play in those types of decks. Card defender. You just rather run the 2/4 heal dude over this guy. Would you run both? I don't know about that. You'd run Stonehill Defender. Would you run Stonehill Defender over this guy? Maybe. You'd get this guy off of Stonehill. It's pretty strong. It just makes your next turn obsolete. If you're like a control deck, you could run both the heal dude and this guy if you don't have very many turn 4 plays. If you run this guy, you can play him turn 3, just past turn 4. But it's pretty weak compared to the 2/4. Icebreaker. I don't think there's enough support for it. The problem with freeze effects is that the freeze effects in general aren't that strong. Like, if you use Frost Nova, you use Doomsayer. If you use Frostbolt, you use it to kill a minion. And then in Shaman, there's no freeze effects that are used. Zero freeze effects are used. This will not make the freeze archetype a thing. It's actually pretty strong, but it's 3 mana. Instead of freezing a minion, you kill it. That's essentially what it reads. So it makes freeze really strong. But it costs 3 mana, and you can only do it 3 times, and you have to take the damage, and there's also a lot of weapon removal, so saving this will be risky. So 3-star. 2.5 star. It's a really strong card, but it's decently strong. If freeze becomes a thing, it would be because of this card, but even then it's not that strong. Because freeze effects are just too weak. Avalanche, freeze a minion, then deal 3 damage to adjacent. Too weak. Like, think about it like... So it's like Hellfire minus the middle minion. Except you freeze the middle minion. Or, like, this is... it just affects 2 other minions, so you can't even compare it to Hellfire. If they only have 1 minion, this is pretty useless. This is like a 0 mana card for 4 mana. If they have 2 minions, it's just so clunky. The power level's too weak on this. It just does too little damage for the mana cost. Voodoo Hexer. Okay, this card's strong, regardless of freeze effects. Good at stopping aggro, and Shaman has board clears, so stall is good. Cryostasis. So I'll rate... Okay, so this card, I rate 2-star. This card, I rate 3.5 star. Cryostasis, use it on your own taunt minion, it's decent. I don't think it'll see much play, so 2.5 star. Would it actually see play? Nah, you need board control for this shit. At worst, it's a 4 mana, 3/5 totem. It could see play, actually. I don't know. It's just pretty weak. I'll say 3-star for this card. Snow Fury Giant. I've actually never seen this. Cost 1 less for each mana cursive. You've overloaded this game. Oh shit. It's linked. 4 mana, 7/7 into this guy. So what's the earliest you could have this guy? Tunnel Trog's out. Overload cards. What overload cards are even used right now? I don't even know. Why did they make it 11 cost? I've never seen a giant that's 11 cost. So now 10 cost cards will evolve into this guy. And this guy will evolve for sure as well. So that's kind of important. Maybe they just made it 11 cost for the evolve effect. You'd need to be overloaded at least 3 mana crystals for this guy to see play at all, and then it would be okay. It wouldn't even be good. It's decent. I'd say 3 star. It could see play. It wouldn't be amazing. Eventually, it could become 0 mana, but I don't think Shaman's run enough of those cards. Thrall Deathseer. This guy's getting a lot of hype. It's only 5 mana, so that's really cheap. You can doppelgangster this guy. Pretty decent combo. I think it enables a cool deck archetype, and it's pretty strong. So actually 4 star, but it's not as strong as everyone says. It's like, it's a strong card, but it's not amazingly strong. Like, this is an auto-include in an Evolve deck for sure, but it's not like that crazily game-winning. I don't know. Like, the best case scenario is you play the 2/3 taunt that doubles itself. They live, then you play this guy, and then you get 2 6-drops, which is insane. But that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you're losing on board. This is a dead card. This is a win more card. Does Evolve Shaman usually have board? And as a win more card, does this do a good job? Yes. As a win more card, this does an amazing job because it can heal your cards. As the amazing thing about Evolve is you can have it early. This card is more like 10 mana because you'd play like Bomb Blobber this card on 10 mana. I don't know. It's a win more card. It's an expensive win more card. That's the problem with it. That's why I say 3.5 mana. The good thing about Evolve is it's a win more card, but it's flexible. Like, you can use it on turn 6 with Doppelgangster, or you could even use it on turn 5 with a 4-drop, something like that. I don't know. Transmute Spirit. This enables a deck archetype, so it's pretty good. Murabi, 1 star. Freeze effects aren't good enough. And this effect is just shit. It's like draw a card for it every time you freeze a minion. And, I don't know, it's 6 mana for a 4/4. Jesus Christ. It will never live. Like, would you rather play this guy than a 10 mana card? Because that's what you're going to do. You're going to play this on 10 mana with other freeze effects. Why is it not loading? Whatever. Sangren Reveler. This card's strong. 4 star, 4.5. Obviously, lower cost cards are stronger than higher cost cards because they have much more power. They get seen earlier. Drain Soul. This is essentially what Drain Life. Fuck you, Blizzard, dude. You have a 3 mana card. Deal 2 damage, heal 2. Now this is deal 2 damage, lifesteal. It's better, but it's only to a minion. It's good. I'll say this is 4 star. It's powerful. Howl Fiend 1 star. I'm not even going to discuss this joke of a card. Defile. I love this card. 5 star. Wow, very powerful. I could talk for a long time about this with all the deal with Acolyte, Patron synergy against aggro. It's design 5. Makes you think how to set it up without your opponent knowing. It's a cool card. Unwilling Sacrifice. Deadly Shot, but if you run eggs and possess Villager and stuff, it's pretty powerful. And Warlock has board control. It's easy for Warlock to gain board control. So I'll say this is actually like, okay, so when Blast Crystal Potion came out, I was like, nah, that's a shit card. But it actually saw play. This is 1 less mana, and you actually use it on curve, and it's good with, it has synergy with Warlock stuff, so I'll say this is 4 star. 4.5. 4 star, 4 star. It'll see play for sure. Despicable Dreadlord. That's a strong card. It's like the 6/6. I fucking clicked next! Whatever. It's like the 6 mana, 6/6. Deal 1 damage to all minions, except it's only your opponent. It's a recurring effect, Yeah, that's about it. The only weak part about this card is it's at the end of the turn. So like, let's say you're getting through a taunt, it doesn't work. But it's a pretty strong demon. It's like Baron Geddon, mini Baron Geddon. I like it. 4-star. But one damage AoEs are weaker than 2 damage AoEs by a long shot. That's the only thing. But it only deals damage to your opponent's minions, so trade off, boys. 1-star. Nomer Ferretu, 1-star. It's only good against decks that want to draw into their last card, so combo decks and fatigue decks. Shit card. There's better cards against that. And the only strength it has is it's decent against aggro. Like, it's playable against aggro, that's what I mean by decent. And its effect is control. So imagine the Druid card that changes into a 1-2 Poisonous or a 1-5 Taunt for 2 mana. And then look at this guy. It does both, but it's shit at both. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none. So 1-star. Treachery. The only card this was designed for was Doomsayer. And, of course, Tickling Abomination. So 5-star, obviously, because of Tickling Abomination. Memes. I love you, Blizzard. Blood Clean Lanethel. So people have been saying this is shitty. I actually like it. It's quite strong. People have been like, oh no, what if you discard this card? But you understand that the deck is comprised of 30 strong cards. So like, you discard a strong card, as long as there's 30 strong cards, it doesn't matter which one you discard. Of course, this is just a strong, solid minion. It's not an answer. It's just a strong minion. But it helps you. I would rather include this card than a different card in the deck. So that's why it doesn't suck. I'd rather include Blood Queen Lanethel over, like, I don't know. I don't know what cards would run a discard Warlock. Over, like, maybe... Well, it's 5 mana, so you'd need to... Over the quest. I'd run this card over the quest. Alright. Because you can actually play this on turn 5, and it heals you. And you don't need more value. So it's good. It's good. You know, it's a good card. You discard it, great. It's not your win condition. It's just a solid card. It's like powerful. It's like a 4-mana 7/7. If you discard your 4-mana 7/7, great. You have other turn 4 plays. You have Master of Evolution. Of course you didn't run that in the deck, but you have other cards. This card is just another powerful card. I mean, it's like, you know, in aggro decks you have Knife Juggler, and then you have Flame Imp. You discard one, great. You play the other. Like, I know they're different mana costs. You have Boardwalker, and you have Flame Imp. You discard one, great. You play the other. Like, it doesn't matter. You're playing the discard cards because they're already good on their own, and they have synergy with, like, Malchezaar's Imp and the Quest. So, they're good on their own. This card's just good on their own. Discard Warlock just has cards that are good on their own. This card is good on their own. That's why. That's why it's good. That's why I like it. You just plop it down. Discard it, great. Don't discard it, great. 4-star. 4.5. Just 4-star, 4-star. Just solid. Won't define the deck, but it's not bad. Blood Reaver Gul'dan. N'Zoth, 4 demons, and at this stage of the game you don't want to heal, you don't want to use Soul Tap anymore, so you siphon life. It's like Jiraxis. This is kind of decent. Heal for 3 every turn. It's your comeback, baby. You don't need to draw anymore. It's like huge swing. If Warlock could afford N'Zoth, you can afford this. And this is pretty fucking good. I rate this 4.5 star. 5-star even. It's a strong card. All you need to do is run 7 demons. You know, it's like pretty easy. And then there's really strong demons like Doomguard and stuff. So when you play this, you get, it's like deal 5 damage, heal for 5 because of this, of the 5 armor. You know, summon a shit ton of stuff, get taunts, get the 3/2 that draws a card. I don't know if that's a demon or not, but whatever. You know, it's just solid. Okay, Animated Berserker. I think Blizzard forcing this archetype is in such a bad way. 1 star? I can't say that. It's cool. I really can't rate this card. I don't think the archetype's going to be a thing. I'm betting against the archetype being a thing. Berserk archetype. I don't think there's enough cards. But every single card is about that, pretty much. And this minion survives damage. Too cool. Whirlwind. Patron. You gain 1/1 for each damage minion. Like, all of these cards are supporting the archetype. Rafe. 3 cards are, actually. Yeah, 1 star. Will not see play. A card... it deals 1 damage to each of your minions. Like, so you play this card, then you play, what's your 2-drop? You play the 2/3 Berserker dude, Amani Berserker, which becomes a 5/2, which is a decent 2-drop. It's not amazing. So then into 3-drop, what's your 3-drop? I don't even know. It's just this guy. It's too combo oriented. So I don't know. Or you use this for a combo like Garrosh, this card. I just rather use Inner Rage over this guy. Just better in most circumstances. Forge of Souls. Really good. Can go in Pirate Warrior. Really strong card. 5 star. Or 4.5 star. 5 star is not. It's not quite worthy. But the fact that it's 2 mana. Oh my god. And the fact that it works with the Death Knight Warrior hero. Dual wielding. Oh my god. Okay, Blood Razor, really strong card. 3/2 AoE every attack. Really strong. I'll rate this 4.5 star. I like this card a lot. When I saw Death Spite, I was like, at first I was like, it's not that great. Death Spite ended up being tremendous. But it was 4 attack, then 5 attack. This is just 3 attack both times, but you get your Whirlwind effects in. It's a great stall card. Yeah, I like this card a lot. 4 star, not 4.5. 4 star, very strong, solid card. If it's your opponent's turn, gain 6. Okay, so this card's really weird. It's really strong. Let's say you run this in an aggro deck. You don't really need the health against, unless you're against other aggro decks. And if you run this in a control deck, your opponent's not even going to clear this. It's just a really weird spot. It does 2 opposing things. It's a 4/3. But it's just a really strong card. But I feel like Warrior would want like a taunt, like Monkey over this guy even. Monkey would be better than this guy. Unless you're an aggro deck, then this guy's strong. Like mid-range would use this guy. Mid-range. Mid-range would use this guy. Tempo-oriented deck that isn't just about, that lasts a little while. So I'd say this is like 3.5, 4 star. It's quite strong. For mid-range, yeah, 4 star for mid-range. Soul Claimer. I feel like this guy's pretty weak. Whenever it survives damage, it's actually not too bad. Because it's decent against aggro. Because on turn 3, what deals 4 damage? And a War Axe that was upgraded. True Silver. Not many things deal 4 damage. Korkron. They're all 4 mana. So this card can get value. A 1/4 that summons a 2/2 with that C play? Not really even. That's not even that great. It's only when it survives damage too. I don't think this is even good for the Whirlwind archetype. I'll give this a 2.5 star, 2 star. 2 star, 2 star. Death Revenant. The worst Frostwolf Warlord. I don't know. I don't think this archetype's gonna be a thing, so 2 star. Even if it is a thing, this card's pretty weak. Dead Man's Hand, 5 star. This will single-handedly make Control Warrior have infinite deck, which is very fucking strong. If this is a very strong tool. Because Control Warrior already gets enough tempo. Control Warrior already beats tempo decks, just like with the armor, brawls, like has stall on stall on stall, on board clears, on removal. This makes it infinite value. Infinite value, and with infinite value and infinite tempo. So good. Bring it down! 10 mana, 10 armor. This card's dangerous. It's like a Millhouse Mana Storm. It's good right before a Brawl turn. But if you don't have Brawl, that's weak. It's 2-card combo. This card into Brawl. 10 armor strong, though. This card's really good against aggro. Really weak against control. I'd say, this is a really hard card to rate. 3-star. I'll say 3-star. It's just really hard. I'm in the middle about it. Rod Face. This is a really cool guy. He needs synergy. Inner Rage, Whirlwind effect. 2 legendary minions. It's only when it survives damage. So alone, this guy's useless. It's just an 8-mana 4/6. It's cool, but it's meme potential. I don't think this guy's actually good. It's too RNG dependent as well. And you spend a card to get a legendary. You pretty much, Inner Rage, comes into a 0-mana legendary. Random one, that you don't get the Battle Cry. So, this guy, 2-star. I'm gonna be rough. Scourge Lord Garrosh. You lose your armor up hero power to get a really shitty hero power, Blade Storm. 2-star. I really don't think this archetype's gonna be a thing. And if it is, well, all my predictions will be wrong for Warrior. Will this bring Patron back? I doubt it. That would be really cool though. At most, Patron will be a tier 3 deck. Yeah, I don't think it'll be that strong. I'll try it out though, it's a really cool deck. Snowflipper Penguin. 1-star. For Build the Beast. Kinda cool. Akiris Veteran. Akiris, am I saying it correctly? Achiris? I don't know. Give a friendly minion 1 attack. It's pretty much like what Abusive Sergeant used to be. It's like an Elven Archer if you have board control. It's not bad. It's like the 1/2, you know, in TGT, they had a 1/2 that gave 2 attack permanently. This gives 1 attack permanently. I think this could see play in aggro decks. 3.5-star, 3-star. Dead Scale Knight. Is this supposed to be a joke? 1/1. I don't think Murlocs even need lifesteal. Like, Murloc decks don't lose health. They either have board and dominate or don't. They're very snowbally. 1-star. If it had 2 health, it could be decent for control decks. Wretched Tiller. If it had 2 health, it could be decent. As of now, 1-star. It's pretty much it's like 3 attack to heroes, 1 attack to everything else. It's so shit. Fallen Sun Cleric, 1-star. All these are fillers. Give a friendly minion +1/+1. If this was 1 mana, it could be decent. Just so weak. Painted Zealot. Divine Shield, +1 spell damage. If Kobold didn't see play, this won't see play. I don't see a deck that would just run this over Thalnos. 1-star. 1.5 though. Sees a little more play. Give a friendly minion +1. Okay, so this is like Tempo Mage, right? You play Mana Worm, then you play Tuskar Fisherman. That could be insane. I'll say 3-star for this guy, because he has good stats, so Tempo decks would like him. Death Speaker, 3-star. Give a friendly minion immune. Tempo decks like this. It's like Divine Shield for your turn. Highlandir, Frost Rider. Good arena card, 2-star. Maybe good for freeze. Like you play this guy and Shaman card, whatever. Get all those combo wombos, but it's so weak. I don't know. It's just a 4/4. If you play it on its own, it's decent. But a 3-mana 4/4 isn't that strong anymore. Maybe you just have a deck. Nah, there's too much combo potential for just a 3 mana 4/4. You know, people have like 20 mana Van Cleefs on turn 1. They have like Egg Druid, has like Enervate, fucking Mark of the Wild, like Living Roots, whatever. 3 mana 4/4 is not strong enough. Vrygul. So the first thing this reminds me of is Eggnapper. I don't see this guy better than Eggnapper. So 1 star. Grave Shambler. Whenever your weapon's destroyed, gain +1/+1. So it's pretty much a 4 mana 5/5. Is that strong? No. 1 star. 1.5. But still 1. Egg Druid could like this, but it's still weak. 1.5 star. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 attack, 1 star. It's so shit. It's a 3/4 for 4 mana. If it was for 3 mana, it could be decent. Like, think of this card, then think of the Berserker dude. He has 1 more health. That's the difference between them. 1 more health. Right. That makes a big difference for turn 4. Because when is this going to survive more than 2 attacks, and when is it going to matter if he takes 2 attacks? Like, when he takes 3 attacks. Even for enraged decks, he sucks like shit. You just rather run the 5 mana 2/7. 4 health is really a setback. Gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn. Evolve. People are gonna be sad about this guy. Random effects. Yeah, 1 star. Bloodworm, Lifesteal, 1 star. Yeah. I mean, it's heal. There's better tools. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +3 attack. Just a good arena card, that's it. 1 star. If it's your opponent's turn, summon an 8/8 skeleton. If you give this guy taunt, he's decent. I'll say this guy's 2 star just because, like, could be decent. I don't know. I like him. I like this guy. He's cool. Give adjacent minions +2 health. That's decent. It's a win more card, but it's not even that good of a win more card. 1 star. Venomancer, 1 star. There's better poisonous cards. It reminds me of my Exna. 3 less health for 1 less mana. My Exna didn't see play. Why would this guy 1 star? Okay, Necrotic Geast. When one of your other minions dies, summon a 2/2 ghoul. So a good guy to consider this guy too is Cult Master. But the thing is, Cult Master, he's 4 mana. If Cult Master was, for instance, like 2 mana 1/1 or 3 mana 2/1, he would see much more play. But this is 6 mana. This is like Cult Master, draw 0 mana 2/2 and then play. Right? Is that good? It's like a better Wisp. It's shit. I don't know. Token decks wouldn't even use this guy. There's just Soul of the Forest. It's pretty much Soul of the Forest. Do combo decks use that? No, but the cool thing about Soul of the Forest is 2 less mana, and it stays. I don't know. Soul of the Forest seems better than this guy. Maybe Shaman could use it, but then if I was Shaman, I would just use Cult Master. Spellweaver. It's a shittier Kobold 2/2 dude. He's 4 mana. With effects like this, you want them to be the least mana possible. 1 star. Bone Mare, 2 star actually. He's pretty strong. I like him. His stats, he's a 9/9 for 7 with taunt and charge. It's pretty good. I like it. Won't see play. It's not strong enough for constructed, but 2 star, man. 2 star. Cost 0 if your hero is healed this turn. It's decent. It's a nice tempo play. I don't see decks that would want to heal and use this card though. Usually decks that want to heal or value. This is like, I'd say 3 star actually. Could see playing Priest. Druid maybe. Nah, Moonveil, Glaive Portal. Paladin, True Silver. Yeah, Paladin with True Silver could be decent. Mindbreaker, tech card against Death Knight heroes and Justicar. 5 health, so hard to remove. He's not even that good at doing what he's supposed to do, so 2-star. Shallow Gravedigger, shit, this card is so shit. 3 mana draw card. I'd just rather run the 2/1 Loot Hoarder. 3/1 draw card. Yet again, as we said, the lower mana cost, the better. Loot Hoarder is better than this guy. Random Death Rattle. So drawing a card from your deck is going to be higher quality than a random card. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck, just for 1 more health. This card is decent if you don't go into fatigue. It's like the Reaver card, still shitty. 1-star. If it was a 6/6, it could see play. With a lot of these, like, they could have more stats. Like Spellweaver could have more stats, Necrotic Geese could have more stats, Venomancer could have more stats. Even like could be a 5/5. Even like has poisonous, doesn't matter if it's a 5/5 or not. Sunborn Valkyrie could be plus 3 health. Skelemancer could be a 3/3 or a 3/1. Not a 3/1. 1 health would be too easy to ping yourself. This guy could be plus like 5 attack, see play, Bloodworm, Force 5, Force 6. Wicked Skeleton could be 3 mana. You know, Night Howler, we already discussed how shitty he is. Grim Necromancer, his stats are really low. All these cards are like just fairly statted. They're like very fair. And to see play, they need to be a little busted. So that's what makes them boring. Like, their effects could be kind of cool, but they're just too boring to see play, you know, their stats are too fair. Phantom Freebooter. A lot of people were complaining about this guy. I don't think it's that good. I say 3-star. It's like decent. They play the... If people play the 5/4 that gives your weapon 1 attack, they'll replace this with that. So I guess it's 4-star actually, because it would actually see play in a deck. It's just pretty strong. Play a Fury War Axe into this guy. It's a 4 mana, 6/4 kind of. It's like, is that really that crazy? 6/4 for 4 mana instead of a 5/4. Wow! And it's a pirate, so Golaka Crawler could nom on this guy. So it's not that crazy. 3.5. Serenite, Chain Gang, Taunt, Battle Cry, Summon. Okay, so this guy is good for Evolve, hand buffs, and it's just decent as a taunt. Like, shit, dude. 2/2/3 taunts are better than like a 2/6 taunt, except they're weaker against board clears, but stronger against removal. And your opponent has to distribute damage better. So like, let's say they have a 7/7, you can't get through this. So it's pretty decent. Compare it to Senjin, Shield Master. Yeah, I'd say this is 3.5 star. You can see it play in decks. Ticking Abomination, obviously 5-star. Look at that. He's just so scared. He's like, oh shit, what are we doing? Corpse Razor. Give a friendly minion Death Rattle summon this minion. It's pretty decent. 2.5 star. It's weaker than Ancestral Spirit though, because with Ancestral Spirit you can play it the same turn, but then a lot of the time you want to play Ancestral Spirit, the turn will die, so it doesn't get silenced. But then again, this gives you less room to play other stuff. The 3/3 body isn't that good of a compensation. If this was like a 4/4, this would be much better. Or even a 5/5. Yeah, I'd say actually 2-star. Bone Drake, 1-star. Add a random dragon to your hand. There's better card draw, card engine for 6 mana. 6 mana is too expensive for this shitty of a Death Rattle. But the one upside is it does fit in both a dragon and a Death Rattle deck. So there's that. Jakari Enchanter, your end of turn effects trigger twice. I saw a list of things this would work. This is kind of cool, combo oriented. Yeah, I'd say this is 3.5 star. You could see cool play, cool combo decks. I think it's actually more like 3-star because it's more of a gimmick. I don't think you could pull this off. It's too much of a win more card. Like the combo that you play both this and like Manatide Totem on turn 6. It's like 2-card combo for an extra draw. A 1/5 that draws you a card. It's not that amazing. But the stats are pretty generous, so. Yeah, 3.5. This card's strong. I'll say 4 star, 4.5 for this guy. I like it. It's just very loaded. You see, this is a loaded minion. There's a big weakness here, though, that a lot of the lifesteal minions are weak. A lot of Wind Fury minions are weak. Divine Shield and Taunt not so much. But not many classes can pull this off. Divine Shield, the common minions are pretty weak. Taunt minions are strong. Stonehill defenders. But what if you draw your minions that have this shit before this card? What'll fucking happen? 4-star. But it's weaker than it seems. It's weaker than it seems. Just because you can draw the other cards before this, and then it could also make you have shitty draws if you just try to fill in, like, Argent, like the 1/1 Divine Shield guy as your 1-drop. Because you're gonna want to mulligan for the 1/1s anyways, so the probability you get Divine Shield is low. And Taunt Divine Shield is what you really want. Lifesteal and Wind Fury are less important. Death Axe, Punisher. Shit, 1-star. The one thing is, buffing lifesteal minions is also buffing the heals, so there's some synergy there. Meat Wagon, this guy's cool. Brings out your Doomsayer. Or your eggs. Yeah, this could be decent. Like, what's it called? Like a Warlock deck that destroys your own minions or even buff. Yeah, I say 4-star. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of uses this card can see. Nah, it's not 4-star, it's like 3.5. It won't be a powerhouse, but it's definitely a useful card. Rattling Rascal, this guy's kind of cool, but I don't really see it. I'd rather play the 7/7 rather than silence this guy. And then if you take this guy out with Barnes, that's a disaster. Imagine evolving into this card, that's a huge disaster. 2.5. Tomb Lurker. Add a random Death Rattle minion that died to your hand. This card's so shit. The stat line's so shit. Random Death Rattle minion that died, so your opponent has control over this. Draw a card. 5 mana, draw a card. Shit. 1-star. Furnace Fire. Colossus. So Hydras were seen in this expansion. This is essentially like a Hydra. I like it. I'll say 3-star. And the thing is, like, let's say you sacrifice a 5/2. Let's say you have too many weapons in your hand, right? Like, your hand's just clogged with weapons. This guy, A, converts that clog into tempo, which is what weapons are supposed to do, so he fits the archetype. And you convert your expensive weapons for free. So it's like your Arcanite Reaper, instead of having to pay 5 mana to take it out of your hand, this guy takes it out for free. Although an Arcanite Reaper isn't that much stronger than a War Axe when it comes to this guy, so I don't know. It's like discard Warlock. Only if they had weapons. This is the one discard card that actually targets cards. You know what it's gonna discard. However, Warlock can't use it. How ironic is that? But I think Pirate Warrior could see play of one of these guys, especially with the new Draw 2 Weapons card. Destroy all one. Okay, so this guy's power level is a 5, but due to the fringe play he'll see, I'll say more like a 3. Because Jade Druid isn't that prominent. He fucks up a lot of decks. Like, there's a lot of decks. I'm not gonna go over all of them. But against those decks, he's super powerful, but it's just too fringe of a case. And as mentioned before by many other people, in decks that don't really care about it, a 6 mana 4/6, super shitty. There's so many better 6 drops. And then you're also helping out your opponent by increasing their card quality of their draws. Rubian Unraveler. So this guy is very similar to the Sorcerer Apprentice. I'll rate this guy 3-star because he costs 6 mana. Yet again, you'd use this guy in tempo decks. He's harder to remove. Actually, he's maybe 3.5 star. He's better than the Sorcerer, just because he's harder to remove. So yet again, you'd want to play this guy on a turn that the board clear's coming, like Dragonfire Potion or something, in a tempo deck. The one downside is that you can't play spells. Prince Keliseth. I like this guy. People underrate him. 3 star. The one problem is he doesn't allow you to run any 2-drops. That's kind of rid. Dude, have this guy in Hunter, in the fucking 1-drop Hunter deck. Maybe he'll make Queen Carnassa viable. I don't know. If you have enough 1-drops, you pretty much have your turn 2 covered, which is a very important turn for you to play something. I think he can see play. Like, a lot of decks cannot include him, but there are a lot of decks that can include him. Or there are a few decks that can include him. And in the decks that can include him, he's quite powerful, because he comes out on turn 2. The only problem is he doesn't affect your hand, so that's kind of weak. Prince Taldaram. If your deck has no 3-cost cards transform into... Okay, this card's complete shit. 1 star when I first saw him. Arthas. I love this guy, but he can see play. 2.5 star in a competitive deck. I don't know. Let's judge these in a sec. What did I rate? Yeah, so 4 star. Actually, this guy. Nah, 3.5 star. 1 star. 2.5 star. But let's rate these. Frostmourne. So this is kind of like Ashbringer in the same way that it comes out late. The Death Rattle's quite strong, but a lot of the time you'll want to go face, because in turn 7 you're going to be taking a lot of damage from killing minions. By the time you kill 3 minions, you're probably going to lose 15 health from that. Like, they're on average going to have 5 attack. And you need this to get the killing blow. Army of the Dead. Remove the top 5 cards of your deck, summon any minions removed. That's like King Varian, except you don't draw the cards. But it's for 6 mana. If you don't get into fatigue, this card can be strong, but this card could also fuck you up if you're like a warrior and you want Dead Man's Hand, infinite. It's pretty strong though, really strong. This is really strong. For a 7-drop, I don't know. I don't know how strong this is for turn 7. It's quite strong, but it's like hard quality wise. If I had to rate each of these cards, Frostmourne's like a 3.5, 4, destroy all minions. It's 5 star. It's like Doom, except for drawing the cards, you just mill them all. 2 star. 4 star. It's only 2 mana for 5 damage. It's strong. And it's to any enemy. You can even go face. 5 star. Removal for 2 mana? Holy shit. So strong. Okay, this card could be shitty. Anti-magic show. 4 mana for 2/2 buff across all minions. If you're not a token deck, you need at least 2 minions for this to be good. It depends on the deck. On average. On a deck you'd play the Death Rattle card, it would probably be like 3.5 star. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. That's really strong. It's like 5 star. So yeah, it's actually pretty strong. Especially if you could, like, Barnes, like Redemption, shit like that. It's a strong card. But 2.5. The stats are very low. Prince Valinor. That's really strong, actually. I'll say 3 star. Lich King, 5 star. He's just a nice little... He's like Ragnaros, right? Just fucking solid. He's like Dr. Boom. Less tempo. More value. 1 turn later. The 1 turn later does make a big difference, but taunt. So it's pretty much like you play him turn 7. Because he has effect. Dr. Boom had effect on turn 8. This guy has effect on turn 8 because he's taunt. pretty strong, man. And then we agreed these cards are fucking strong too. So, and if this guy lives more than one turn, it's like, yes, Sarah can Barnes him out, cheat him out, play that priest card that summons a 5/5. Yeah. Auto include in a lot of decks, especially mid-range. Really strong mid-range card. I don't know a lot of other 8th drops that help. Druid would love this card with a new summon, the taunts. Stonehill Defender. You get this guy if you're in a control match. You don't have to get him if you're not in a control match. This card it trumps a lot of other 8 drops. That's why he's so strong. 8/8 taunt, decent, and draw card, and the card quality is fucking pretty lit. The card you draw. There's a few dead draws, but I mean, in your deck there's gonna be dead draws too. It's like Ysera gives dead draws too. So yeah, that's my rating for all of the cards. I tried to stay on the rubric that I gave myself at the very beginning of this video. Anyways, Sean over and out. August 7th, 2017. The expansion comes out in like 3 days.